Hey yo, what up guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of Future Figuarts. This is episode 9. So we saw a lot of different characters in the Tournament of Power, and while some were more memorable than others, I think the only other one that would make a great pairing with Evolution Vegeta is Dr. Eggman / the Lorax looking god of destruction and training / Pride Trooper reigning dude himself, Toppo. Were there any more references I could have threw in there? And is it just me, or does Toppo kind of remind you of Binky? Anyway, let's get into it. So with his appearance, we have a major decision to make here. And this is regarding whether or not he'll be released clad in his Pride Trooper uniform to match with Jiren, or his God of Destruction form. I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that we can rule this one out. Now I think one major factor in favor of his Pride Trooper's uniform seeing a release over the God Destruction appearance is the fact that Toppo was seen in this Pride Trooper's uniform like 90% of the time in the anime. And I mean, when he first fought Goku in that exhibition match, this is how he was seen. Yes, his fight against Evolution Vegeta may be that much more memorable at this point, but let's be real, Tamashi's all about Goku, so we're more likely to see him as how he was when he fought Goku than Vegeta. Prove me wrong, Tamashi, prove me wrong. So let's shift focus over to his Pride Trooper's look, as I'm not entirely convinced he would be released in his God of Destruction form despite having an epic battle in it. Again, just like Jiren, the colors of the uniform are pretty straightforward here, black and red with white boots and gloves. If you want my detailed specifications about the paints I think that would look good here, you can check out the Jiren episode in the link above. Now Toppo has a sort of potato brown skin for his color. Matter of fact, Toppo has a potato look going on as a whole, doesn't he? But for the skin color, I would go for a light potato color or a tan. I mean, in some shots he looks like he's a dark caramel color, but for the most part this is the main color I see. For the eyes, obviously they're yellow, but what kind of yellow would work best here? Because believe it or not, this would be the first release that would feature eyes that are yellow. I'm just kidding, Beerus has yellow eyes. I was just waiting for someone to drop a comment about me being ignorant again. Anyway, I think the yellow used for Beerus' eyes would actually work out quite well for Toppo's as well. They're not too glossy, not too overly saturated, and I think it would work out quite nicely with Toppo's potatoey skin. Alright, let's get down to the fun part now. That stash. Is this really the first Figuart to have facial hair? I mean, come on, this guy's stash makes Nappa look like he just hit puberty. I think it'd be interesting to see what they do here. Would they go completely white, or would this have shades of gray in between? I'm gonna base this on Whis' hair and say while we might not see too much shading in his face wig, we could see some detailed lines sculpted into it. But wait, only question now is, will we get swappable stashes? Only time will tell. Now in terms of the rest of his sculpt, I think Majin Buu has opened the door to Toppo's figure quite nicely, as he's more rounded than the rest of the figures we have up till now, and I mean, if they made Majin Buu work, there's no reason they can't make Toppo work too. One of the things I'd really like to see them pull off with this release is his oversized hands. I just think they're freaking hilarious, and they're pretty much Toppo's other defining quality other than his stash. And I mean, if they actually pull it off where the figure was capable of bear hugging the Goku figure, man, they nailed the release right there. So that brings me to my last point, the scale. He's not a tiny dude. I mean, if you can pick Goku up and squeeze the crap out of him in a bear hug, you have to be at least as tall as 16 or Nappa. And since I put Jiren around their height, Toppo's taller than Jiren, so Toppo needs to be slightly taller. I think we're talking about just under Broly level height here, but the thing is, when you have to take into consideration the size of Toppo's massive hands and whether or not they'll actually fit in the box, I wonder if they'd actually go past Nappa's height for him. So I think it's safe to say that getting other expressions in the form of separate heads for Toppo is the case. And the first that I say is a must is the grumpy / angry face, complete with popping veins on the top of his head. Just like Jiren's constant expression of not giving up, Toppo is seen looking like this in the majority of the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was his default head. Now despite the Pride Trooper's look over his God of Destruction look, it doesn't mean we can't see a transformation head such as the one seen here. It'd be a nice nod from Tamashi, and again, let's be real. Like Jiren, there aren't much faces to choose from here. Aside from these faces, you never really see Toppo smiling, so I think the only other option would be a surprise or in shock expression that would wrap up the different heads we'd see with this release. Okay, so in terms of accessories, I know hands typically don't count, but I think if they're the size they're supposed to be, they'll definitely count when you look at the budget. So aside from gigantic fists, these Justice Flash hands / Pride Trooper pose dabbing hands are definitely a must. And then if there's room somewhere in the box, some grabby hands too. In terms of other accessories, rather than me defaulting to an aura this time, I think it'd be cool to get some Justice Flash effect blasts. Little teardrop shaped, fiery looking translucent pieces of plastic held together by smaller strands that will be propped up by an action effect stand. That'd be a really nice touch for Toppo. Other than that, maybe a wavy action effect mustache to swap out for. I don't really know what else we'd see. I know we'll probably see a comment below about the robe he wore at the exhibition match, and as much as I'd be surprised to see that, I doubt it. But I can't really think of any other accessories they could throw in for Toppo that we'd realistically see. Can you? Personally, I don't think Hakai Blast would make sense for this incarnation of Toppo. Alright guys, so Toppo, would you pick him up? Did you like his character? I actually thought he had more potential for them to flesh out for more than they did, but hey, that could be said for pretty much every character in the Tournament of Power, right? I think if they did release Jiren, I'd pick up Toppo too. I mean, why not? The display needs some more variety in terms of the body types we have, and Toppo definitely fits that mark. That's all I got for you today, guys. Let me know who you want to see in upcoming pairings. I'm probably going to shift focus back to Z characters again for the next bit, as we really need to finish up Z before exploring side characters like Caulifla, Bispo, and Bergamo as much as I'd like to see him. Anyways, guys, until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Peace.